I think my boss stole my company iPad. Several people in our department, including me, have company-issued tablets and laptops. On Tuesday, I went to a coworker's office to talk for maybe 20 minutes, and when I came back, my tablet was gone from my desk. I noticed about half an hour later when I opened my desk drawer where it's kept, but that was the first time I'd left my desk since putting it in that drawer. The tablets all have tracking apps, but when I pulled it up, it still showed the office's location, so it's not like some random stranger broke in, took my iPad out of my desk, and left. I assumed someone in the office had borrowed it. Weird. But it made more sense than anyone stealing it, and waited until the end of the day to see if it got returned. It did not. If I had it to do over, I'd send out an email to my office mates asking if anyone had seen it. But I was so nervous that I hated to draw attention to the disappearance. When I pulled up the tracking info later from home, it showed my boss's address. Wednesday morning, I went to her office and said my iPad was showing at her house and asked if I might have accidentally handed it to her when I gave her a pile of stuff the day before, even though I knew that wasn't how it happened. Without even looking through the stuff on her desk, she said no way and that those things are never accurate. She isn't very tech savvy and seems to think that because GPS is sometimes off by 1 or 2 houses, that means it could randomly pull up her house in a town 20-ish miles away, totally by accident. I said I would take another look around, but now I don't know what to do. I'm terrified to report this because it's in our use agreement that we're responsible for replacing lost devices. But I know where it is and that it wasn't taken by accident. It's not like I left it on top of my desk and she could have picked it up with a pile of stuff. I guess I could have kept it on me to avoid this, but I can't really carry both it and my laptop around every time I have to go to the bathroom or meet with a coworker. I think it should be safe to leave these things on / in your desk in a closed, to the public office with at most 6 people in it. Technically, she's the one I'd report a lost device to, and she'd move that up the chain. I don't know if she will do that right away since I said I'd look for it again. Since I know where it is and saved a screenshot of the tracking info in case she manages to disable it. Should I approach her boss with that? Should I file a police report like I would if it showed a stranger's address? There's one other thing. While I was trying to figure this out, I remembered that there have been a few weird incidents in our office. One employee thought there was some money missing from her wallet because she'd withdrawn 520s from the ATM a few days prior and only had 3 left. But she said it was possible someone at her house took it even though that had never happened before. Our admin was short on her petty cash by $100 once, and this manager told her she must have calculated wrong. The same woman who thought she had money missing was complaining one day that she couldn't find her parka, but she never followed up on it, so for all I know she found it again, so that's even more iffy. But I'm starting to wonder if the incidents are all connected. We've only had this manager since January, and both of those money incidents plus the jacket thing happened since then. Prior to her arrival, nothing ever went missing like that. Should I bring up those incidents because of the possible link, or is it inappropriate to speculate? Also, was I wrong to leave my devices in my desk, or on top, which is where I leave my laptop? I mean, like I said, it would feel weird to have to unplug everything and carry it to the bathroom or other offices, but I'm willing to do that going forward if that's considered best practice when you have company property. Thanks for any advice you might have. I definitely can't afford $400 for a tablet, and this is really freaking me out. Update as a reply to comment. Hey all. Thanks so much for answering this so quickly, Allison. Last night I had made up my mind that unless this actually got posted with advice I hadn't thought of, that I was going to call HR while my manager took her lunch today. I checked here as soon as she left and wrote comments. Some of them definitely influenced how the conversation went. Since people were asking, we have a little satellite office in HR and 8 are in the main office, which isn't even in the same state. Also, I knew this was the manager's house because she had us over for dinner in February. Not that I memorized it, but when it popped up I certainly recognized the street in town. I called HR and explained how I found it missing and used the tracking app to find it. I said I didn't know what to do next because I could tell it was at boss's house. I told the rep about being there for dinner, but how I'd gone to her and tried to make it seem like an accident, and the boss blew me off. I hadn't been planning to bring up the other missing stuff because, like most of you agreed, it's speculation. But I ended up telling the rep anyway because the conversation just went that way. She specifically asked if we'd had anything disappear before, so I wasn't going to say no. She told me to call the police and file a report, so I called, and an officer got here a little after boss got back from lunch. That was precious. I'm supposed to get a copy of the report and send it to HR. But the rep told me that they won't make me replace the device since it was stolen right from the office where I'm supposed to be using it. Yay. I'll send an update if anything happens, but I'm just glad I'm not being charged for the iPad. Now that the policeman left, I finally get to take my own lunch where I'm downing sweet tea like it's going out of style. Allison with some probing questions same day. Ooh, so interesting. What was the tenor of the conversation with HR? Did you get any signals about what she was thinking or what might happen? I wouldn't be surprised if not, as they should be discreet about that stuff, but not all of them are. How has your boss been acting since all this went down? And here's her more recent update from just this week. Honestly, I'm not sure how to say it's going. A couple of weeks after this incident, the manager in question was just gone. I wasn't about to come right out and ask what happened. For all I know, she quit, but I've been having a really hard time ever since she left. In the moment, all I could think about was whether I'd be in trouble for losing the iPad, and especially whether I'd have to pay for it, because I couldn't. So I was in fight mode and wanted her gone for putting me in that position, and now that she is, I've been feeling really guilty. I wish I hadn't brought up the other missing things from the office. The HR rep came out and asked me, so it's not like I volunteered the info, but what if it was just a coincidence, and she wouldn't be gone but for that? I used to really like going into work, and I like this manager pretty well. Now I just feel sad every time I come into the office. I feel like I want out, but there's nothing wrong with my job, just the way I feel about it. I kind of wish I'd just reported the device missing, given them the screenshot of the location, and let them figure out whose address that was. I might feel less gross about the whole thing then. /